Let's
like
get
it.
straight into it. We're going to open up with Rivian. Rivian is up today after signing a $1.25 billion deal with Uber to put 50,000 robotaxis into circulation. 300 million of it is guaranteed. The other 925 is contingent on getting those robotaxis deployed. Liz, are you going to trade it or fade it?
Well, I've been in Rivian for a long time and I don't plan on getting out now. I'm a long-term bull and have been, but not necessarily just being bullish. I use the 45-day option cycle to sell premium. So even though Rivian, it's up today, it's been kind of trading in a range, and Rivian hasn't been a bad put seller. So I've stuck with it for actually quite some years now, and I plan on staying with it. So do I have to say I'm trading it, not fading it?
Yes, trading it, correct. I am pretty much perfectly aligned with you there. I've been bullish on Rivian for some time. I added my heaviest involvement last year around the tariff tantrum. I felt that Rivian was really well protected from tariffs compared to the broader EV space. They're pretty vertically integrated. All of their production is domestic, so that helps them dodge a lot of those things. And as I've dug deeper and deeper into it, I've just come to like it more and more. As you said, it has really, it likes to channel, but when it moves, it really moves. You just kind of have to wait it out and wait for the next leg to the upside to come in. So yes, I'm long-term bullish on Rivian. I have leaps 1 to 2.5 years out, and I look forward to adding more. Pretty much every time it dips, I'm willing to pick up a little bit more.
I'm gonna add more too. It's been a good trading vehicle, especially for options. So we're both on the same page with that one.
Absolutely. All right. The next stock of the day is Alibaba. Alibaba trading way down after a bad earnings miss today. They missed EPS expectations by 38%. They did say that they've reached mass production on their AI chips, though, and raised the prices across the board there. Alibaba, are we going to trade it or fade it?
Okay, I'm gonna have a very bizarre story for you for this one, Gus, but you're young, so I can tell you this. My son's name is JD, just a capital J, capital D. So that's what we've been calling him his entire life. I've taken everything that I put in Chinese products because I said they're all kind of correlated. I do not trade Alibaba. Every ounce of capital that I want to put in Chinese products, I put in JD.com. So I was looking at that today, and that has also fallen a little bit with Alibaba. So on that note, JD's only a $27 product, but I am adding more on the Alibaba slip. So yes, I'm actually trading it, but I'm not actually going to use Baba. I'm going to use JD.com.
Sure, Baba through sentiment. I like it. I like it. That's a very funny story. That's a good way to approach things there.
Well, Gus,
Yeah,
you don't have to say this if you don't want to. How old are you?
I am 24, 2001.
And how old were you when you started trading?
I was 18. Yeah, I mean, really close to my 18th birthday is when I opened my first brokerage account. I was on it as quick as I could be.
So my son and my daughter's about to turn 18. I gave my son $5,000, which is a lot of money, but that's what I do for a living. So, and he's been trading and loving it. He's loving the zero ESPX. So I'm going to send him this afterwards because he doesn't like to look at what I say because I'm his mom, but he might listen to a young hip 24-year-old. So I'm going to send him on stuff.
Yes, please do. I love the younger demographic. They're my people. That's who I'm trying to appeal to in the first place. I'm aligned with you on Alibaba. This is another one that I want to get long. As you alluded to, Alibaba, sort of the Nvidia of China, if you will. It's a giant market maker. When it rises, everything rises. When it falls, everything falls. I just feel like we're at a really beaten down spot right here. Trading off highs of it pushed the 200 level last September. We're all the way down to 125 now after this gap down today. Pretty much any time there's a giant reaction to earnings like this, I'm looking to get contrarian and take the other side, especially with a company as well established as Alibaba. So I'm aligned with you there. I'm going to trade it.
2 for 2. I like it. All right, What else you got?
Rolling straight into our next one. This has been a very trending name in the market over the past few weeks and really the last year is SanDisk, currently trading up 1,500% in the last year as AI and data center demand continues to raise prices on storage. They're really bearing the fruits of that. And are we going to trade it or fade it?
Okay, so SanDisk is a $739 product. So, and I'm an options trader, so it's a little bit rich for my blood. I'm actually abstaining. Can I say that? I'm not trading. I'm not fading. I am abstaining. I would probably take that capital and put it elsewhere. I don't usually try. I mean, I look at SanDisk, I look at it on earnings, and it is a big topic of conversation, but I'm abstaining.
All right, I'm with it.
What say you?
I think Jamal would say that's against the rules, but he's not here, so we can make our own rules today. We can do whatever we want. This is one where I'm sort of aligned with you.
Is this I have to pick a direction? Because if I had to pick a direction, I would fade it. So I will go that way. If I was going to place a trade and I had to, like say I had somebody else's money, I'm fading the move instead of trading.
Sure, sure. I'm fairly aligned with you there. This is a really dicey one. It's not one that I would particularly love to get involved with. If you asked me yesterday, preceding Micron earnings, which is the reason for it trading down a little bit today, the bad Micron earnings call moving down a little bit on the sentiment with that, I definitely would have said I wanted to fade it off those highs. Now that we've made a little bit of a leg down and it looks to be wanting to eke back towards those highs, it's a dicey situation. But I think that I would have to fade it. Anytime you're talking about something that's this, I don't know if inflated is really the perfect vernacular, but this inflated over the course of the last year. It just feels like the room is there to the downside. You know, how much better do things have to get? I like to throw around the drug addict analogy. You know, every $100 it gets, you gotta have more and more and more to get to that next $100. It's like these insane growth stories are always like an addiction. So on this one, I would have to fade
I like a good drug addict story. The anecdote there, Gus. Excellent. Well played. I didn't know you were going to slide one of those in today.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. This isn't one that I necessarily think is going to crater. I just think if I were forced to take a position on it, it would be to the short side. I think it could easily establish itself at that 600, 650 range and hang out there in perpetuity for a little while as the reality comes to catch up with the valuation.
I like it. All right, Gus, this has been a real pleasure. Hopefully you and I get to work together in the future. Maybe we can get our hair colors to match. I'll bring a sample of yours in next time. We can match a little bit better. But thank you very much for joining. We're going to hand the baton back to Jamal, I think, tomorrow or even next week. But this was a great episode of Fade or Fade It with Gus and Liz. So if you like this video, comment, subscribe, get a thumbs up, or jump on the YouTube chat. You can see all of Tasty Live and be part of the conversation. Gus, thank you for